Hello there, welcome back to Sonic Riders. You can just call me Stunt. I figured this particular audio track was appropriate given the circumstances, as of course we're going to be going over the Babylonians story mode today. Kind of weird that you have to come out of your save file into the main menu in order to access the extras. That's something which immediately caught me off guard a little bit, but that being said, oh. Okay, this is the right save file. Okay, let's just move into story mode with our favorite set of bird brains, which it's kind of a shame we never saw them again after Furry Riders. The tragedy that was. Hey Jonesy. Hey, Eggman just appeared out of nowhere, you saw that? You can tell this wasn't designed to be seen in anything but 4x3.
Storm, at least learn to knock before entering a room.
What's this?
Storm, I'm pretty sure you've been with Jet for years. I'm pretty sure you would have seen that.
So is this the key to the
Also,
Babylon
there's more than
garden?
one parent in this universe. Vanilla isn't the only parent. Jet actually has a father. That's a surprise, even to me.
If you get your greasy little hands on this,
I'm pretty sure Storm's hands are greasier.
crazy experiment of yours.
Oh, come on. I only
Yeah, that's fair.
You always say you only
Though it has
want
been a
this
while
and
since I
that.
played through
Remember
SA2
the teachings
proper,
of
so
our
I probably
ancestors.
didn't notice
Be
the
careful what you ask
aspect
for.
ratio
Ultimately,
changes.
You only get 3 true wishes.
Oh, be quiet.
I love these Freeze Dynamic, honestly, it's a shame we never see them again.
Well, an egghead, egg salad? No.
Someone called Eggman wants to
Actual
speak to
room
you.
temperature IQ there.
He has an interesting proposition for you.
Stop interrupting. Knock it off.
Wait, does Wave have the same voice actor as Blaze? Sounds vaguely familiar to me.
I heard you wanted to see me. Are you Jet, the legendary rogue? Your reputation
Somehow Eggman managed to just walk through without needing to duck. Like, seriously, he's even taller than the doors, which I think were made from regular humans.
I heard a rumor
How tall is this man?
the key to Babylon Garden. Now, could this be true? Huh? What's this key? Really now? You don't have to be so distrusting. Are you aware of this?
Oh no, you don't have to be distrusting of me. You heard of this fellow named Knuckles?
So let me get this straight.
Oh, he's going
You just
for
need
the
to
whole
collect
let me
all
get
these
this
chaos
straight thing,
emeralds, right? Sounds easy. You really
I will
think
admit,
so,
with
huh?
more modern movie writing, the term let me get this straight has sort of become a bit of a meme for me in more modern times.
Of course not, but have you seen this character before?
Along with the great apexes of live cinema writing.
The fastest creature on Earth. I've had many dreadful encounters with this pest.
So yeah, it's still saying that Sonic is a fast runner, which sort of makes you wonder why he needs to bother with a board, but... Well, I guess Jet's here with his ego. That's something. Show Sonic what you're made of. Hey, they said the thing. They said the thing. You remember Sonic Heroes? What I'm made of? Anyways, here we come to what I personally think is one of the coolest stages. No way I'm gonna lose! I also can't help but find it funny that they just got Jason Griffin to voice Jet as well as Sonic and Shadow. At this point, they may as well just have him voice the entire cast. Honestly, I kind of wanna... I would pay to see that. Granted, I wouldn't be paying much, but still, it's the thought that counts. So yeah, this, that's how you get up there, by the way. I like the fact that you actually get to play the intro cutscene, technically speaking, because I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be emulating that to the abilities of the game's engine. Also, the moon isn't broken there. I can't help but point that out at this point. It's just one of those things, just a running thing that apparently Okay, so apparently you can't just jump up on that rail. I think I'm more used to just seeing some of the modded versions of this track that actually fix where that rail placement is so you can actually use it. Well, so is it me or the races here are a little bit tougher? I certainly hope they are. Played on native hardware? I wish. That's the thing, really. I've seen a fair bit of stuff out there about being able to port HDMI to GameCube. I would love to do that at some point, though. At the moment, let's just say I've had to resort to alternative methods. Okay, it's just... The voice definitely did sound familiar. I know for a fact that she also voiced Char in Secret Rings. I dread the time where I'm gonna have to stream that at some point. Generally speaking, though, I definitely do dig the vibe of this level. Were it not for the sort of clunky start bit here in the sewers, honestly, I just kind of wish this was longer. I'm assuming the Tournament Edition is for the PC version. I've been meaning to get round to downloading that and trying some stuff out. It just instantly cuts to this cutscene again.
Sorry, but it's just too funny. Let's see.
I do kind of appreciate it compared to Adventure 2, where you go for this sort of knowing the context of the hero story, whereas in Adventure 2 you can just go either way and miss out the context of some certain scenes.
Still, you can never be too careful.
Oh my god, JC, a bomb.
Well, I never
I still like
imagined
the
anyone would enter the
little
race
detail
with
that you could
such a
actually see it in the
show.
hero version of this cutscene. Oh really? In which case I'll probably have to try it out once I've done all the stuff I wanted to do with this particular playthrough. You just know if there were more modern characters like prior to 2010, you know they would have just made Wave the leader, don't you? Oh hey, and we actually get to race against Amy. She's actually a part of the story now. Wow, they didn't forget. You think you can win with that board? You think you can win? Sorry, just so you... I know it's probably a minor thing, but you think you can win with that board? I do get a little bit of a chuckle out of that from seeing various old YouTube videos of this game. You think you can win with that board? Yeah, it definitely does make sense that Blaze would be impressed. I mean, Tails is supposedly 300 IQ smarter than Einstein. He probably could have made a Hadron Collider in his bedroom, like in Ant-Man 3. Well, the whole reprogramming a computer with a dishwasher detergent and a toothpick, I can't help but feel that that's sort of a little ridiculous. I mean, I get it. Trying to make Tails look smart, but I prefer him actually doing stuff that's smart rather than just saying he is. Oh yeah, so I heard you did get, I'm guessing it was a Methyls picture, wasn't it? Sounds about right. Here's me thinking I'm gonna have to stream 06 again at some point, knowing you. There is definitely one moment which I definitely want to try and replicate if I do ever go back to 06, that just being sending the Egg Genesis up to space again. I still can't get enough of that. See, also, look at this! It's the massive wrench that Tails uses in Frontiers. Oh. Yeah, you just know that that's the dash ability Tails would have if this was a modern Sonic game. I will admit I haven't really seen much of Boom. I know a lot of people are probably going to get on my case about that, but just a sort of humor Boom is not really what I'm looking for in this series. I mean, there is definitely room for comedic characters like the Babylon Rogues here and Team Chaotix, but... Oh, she literally has a stick of dynamite. It's been so long since I played Wave, I didn't even realize that. She just pulls out a bomb. I know a lot of people like 06, but after all this time, despite everything, it's okay to say there's good things you like in it, but overall I'd still say that it's overall still bad and not worth going back to, if you can help it. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes.
You really are worthless.
Boss, it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't my fault!
He must have cheated. That's it. He must have used some special type of gear.
What? Are you implying that you lost because of my gear? No one can tune a gear the way I can. Accept it, buddy. It's not the board. Your skills just suck.
Just the animations in this doesn't...
Yes, S-U-C-K, suck.
It really does help sell the humor here. It's like, they're actually funny.
Let's get down to business.
As opposed to like in Lost World, they're trying too hard to be funny.
Eggman, he's gotta be hiding something. And you know, I don't like secrets, so I've got a job for you, Storm.
Honestly, Jason's interpretation of Jet is just so distracting. I mean,
Make sure you look carefully.
I know for a fact that his voice in Free Riders isn't much better, but it's still
Bring something
distracting.
back, or don't return it all.
Yes, sir.
I've been looking forward to this scene, I'll admit. And look at this! Look at the desk! How much strength does Jet have? Just send that mahogany desk just careening across the room like that.
We will break out of the pack first.
I mean, obviously, given what we have, Jason's version of Jet would obviously be better, but doesn't change the fact that it's still distracting, given he also voices Sonic and Shadow. Just sort of reminds me of Jason's early interpretation of Shadow in X, where he just went for the sort of mustache twirling villain vibe with him. Like, your time is running out, Sonic. When obviously in the Japanese version he's a bit more Shadow-like, where he's a bit more introspective. Styrofoam desk. I mean, given a lot of the internal logic of this series anyways, I suppose it makes sense. Oh yeah. This level has ice physics, I completely forgot. Also, there we go. I remembered this shortcut. I feel there's definitely a few shortcuts in these factory levels that are definitely a bit more obscure, like the one where you just have to punch through that one wall. Here we go. We'll say this is, I am getting more and more enticed to try out Tournament Edition at some point. Maybe I'll do another stream on it once I've done with all the stuff. Because I was surprised to see so many people wanting me to do the mission modes. Given the the format I've been doing, I'm probably just going to do one set of missions per stream. Like, one I'll dedicate to the Storm missions, one to the Wave missions, and last one to the jet missions. I suspect that one may go on a little bit. But it may also give me ample time to show off all the rewards you get for accomplishing the missions. It's kind of weird just how long this track is compared to, say, Night Chase. That one I feel went on a little too shortly. This one, it feels like I passed lap 3 already. Yeah, I know about DX already. May have a little cameo in a particular mod for DX. But you'll probably never hear it from me. Or from the actual makers of the mod. Just this little fun tidbit, which you'll probably never even notice. Yeah, I did hear that at least one of the mods had a fairly high roster, like including Metal Sonic and the Hyperforms, and I think Billy Hatcher was one. Maybe that was just in Free Riders. And I'm starting to forget things. Anyways, let's move on to the next. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I just remembered how good this next cutscene is. L cancelling and rights. That by itself sounds kind of ridiculous, but I kind of want to try it out, see if I can actually do it.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Huh?
What's taking Storm so
Yeah, I remember
long?
Billy Hatcher being one of the Riders games.
Just sit down and relax. Chill, Wave.
Guess I just remembered wrong.
How can you be so relaxed at a time like this?
Just thinking I'm gonna have to stream Zero Gravity at some point as well.
Some you understand, but you...
Literally me at work.
Huh?
Not gonna lie, this is definitely how I feel sometimes when it comes to meetings.
I think it's time for a little fun.
Still going. Amazing.
Huh?
Later!
Hey, Jet! You come back here! Right now! Why do I even bother? Unless I take charge, nothing ever gets done here.
Like, see if... This is kind of why I dread them coming back at a modern release, because you just know there's gonna be an arc where Wave ends up taking over.
The race to prove who's the best begins now.
I'm guessing chirping on about all the various responsibilities that comes with being the leader of the Babylon Rogues, or the heritage and the history that comes with it. I imagine it's fairly interesting stuff to actually listen to. It's just actually getting around to listening to it is where I think a lot of people may not be so inclined. Yeah, especially that one scene in the hero story where Jet's like, even without wings, you may as well just kiss the ground and go home. I kind of feel that Jet really is the best rival for Sonic, in that he actually is a rival who gets under Sonic's skin, as opposed to just matching his abilities like Shadow or Knuckles or Metal Sonic the Jobber. That's the thing as well, he's actually semi-credible. Also, that particular rogue line there is a little precarious from past experience. It's like, compared to Metal Sonic, whose lose record is basically his entire existence, whereas Jet here actually gets a little one-up on Sonic here and there. It's kind of nice. Like, he's actually credible as a rival, sort of, until Free Riders happened and he was basically just erased from the series altogether. Except from being the coolest character in Sonic Dash in that he actually gets to keep his hoverboard. Runners-up for that would probably be Excalibur Sonic, considering he also gets the sword. I think I've run out of stuff to talk about, so honestly, White Forest. I almost said White Jungle there. White Forest. Aside from the more Spore vibe, I'd still say that this is probably one of the more forgettable levels in the game. Not really much to write home about aside from some of the freaky visuals. I'd still say Green Cave is better. Anyways, let's get on to arguably the coolest level in the game. And probably the fan favorite.
Sorry to keep you waiting for me.
Look at that pop-in. It's like Frontiers. Look at that pop-in.
Take a look at
Take a look at this.
Gimme.
I'm surprised he didn't lose out in his massive, like, ape Sasquatch hands.
Is this?
What is it?
It's an entry in Eggman's diary. It's about the Babylon treasure from our ancient ancestors.
Wait, is that literally just an arrow there? It literally is just a bunch of nonsense. How is anyone supposed to read that?
Got those bird brains to believe that Babylon treasure was just a gem. I can't believe that they fell for it.
What fools! Can you believe the real treasure is the ancient...
Oh, I can almost semi-read that. Oh, hey, Eggman. Peering at me through the screen. Oh, hello. We're just getting on to the finals.
The boy was able to rule the world. And this was just a gift. I'm anxious to find this technology as soon as possible. Imagine the vast possibilities of the technology they must have kept for themselves.
So are they literally saying that the Babylonians gave Icarus his wings?
Oh well. Guess this was just a wasted effort. Too bad, really. I haven't the
I'm pretty sure
slightest interest
Jet's
in
just
world
thinking back to the
domination or
time he kicked a
advanced
vending machine really hard and all the
Hey,
coins
wait
fell
a
out.
second, okay, Jet? While Eggman may not look smart, he is. He has an IQ of 300 after all.
Even though he
If
might not
he's
look like
interested in
it.
this technology, it must have value.
Are you saying there's profit in this?
Think about it. It may be more valuable than finding silver or gold.
Or crystal, or emerald, or ruby, or sapphire. Oh my god, I'm drowning in coins. Very obviously too deep JPEG coins.
Come on, Jet. It's time to go back to the race.
All right, let's finish this. Then we'll finally get the treasure of Babylon.
Oh yeah, now we finally get the storyline where Jet rightfully wins the race, as opposed to having to cheat to win. Win the World Grand Prix. You'd think a World Grand Prix like this would have a few more races in it, but here we are, Dark Desert, arguably the coolest level in the game. It's kind of a shame that I didn't stream this on the day of the eclipse. Well, granted, if this really was the day of the eclipse, all the races would likely be blinded. Also, look at this. As soon as the eclipse comes up, there's a fissure that opens up in the desert, and there's all these ruins in it. It's just... it's cool. Are we gonna get an explanation for it? No. Oh yeah, that's where the 100 rings is in this level. I love how Jet just sneezes on people. So crude, but it works. Also, you got all this weird Atlantean technology here. No idea how it is here, but it's cool nonetheless. And we're just out here in this sleepy little desert village. Looks like something you'd see in Unleashed. Back when we used to call it Unleashed, not just Unleashed on the Wii. Get over here, Ogilvy, I'm not done with you yet. You're lucky I don't have more... there we go. I was gonna say, you're lucky I don't have more rings, and now I do. Knuckles got the 100 rings, that's a shame. Yup. It is kind of a shame, really. It's... I feel this, this level does sort of emphasize one of the sort of issues with the... I suppose type system, where you basically just set on one particular track when you have all these different routes you can go. On PS2. Yeah, that one also works, though I played the Wii version when I was a kid. As I didn't have a 360 for the longest time, and needless to say, I didn't very much enjoy my time with un-360. Un-PS3. Generally speaking, though, it's it was mostly just the combat which really threw off my enjoyment of un-360. That and the whole Sun and Moon medal thing, just grinding progression to a halt when that's never really been a thing in the Sonic series up until Frontiers, and even then, Frontiers sort of incentivizes that more. Oh, hey look, the rogues are just gone now. Yeah, it's been a long time since I played Unleashed, though, so I'm gonna have to go back through it. There we go, unlock the Babylon Cup. We'll be trying our hand at that a little bit later.
Newsflash.
I've come to make it. Oh wait, wrong thing. Oh, apparently. No mention of Amy getting kidnapped at all, again. Yeah, I definitely like that a lot about Unleashed. The fact that it cuts out a lot less of the filler and just gets to the point. Plus, you get medals for completing missions and levels. It's nice. Get him. Oh, is that the same robot from the Lava Factory level? She'll be fine. Red Mutt. Apparently Knuckles is now just a dog.
Why you?
Hey Knuckles, wait for me!
Oh no, it's not like Tails could have just completely wiped him out on his own. As we just fly straight towards the doors. And immediately just warp into one of my least favorite tracks in the game. Just that it feels like they wanted to make something different for Babylon Garden and couldn't quite do it. There's only really one notable part of it that comes to mind. I'm not entirely certain whether we'll manage it, but we'll try nonetheless. I guess the clear Skynet is kind of nice, though. I will admit, I would definitely like to see a more Night Palace vibe to this particular level. Oh hey, we actually got it! This giant turbulence we can just ride on to skip past a lot of the level. Also, that's where the rest of the 100 rings is, for your information. Let's see if we can actually clear this. Yeah, so I just tend to stop and charge right before the ramps just to make sure I actually get it. Just been so used to that since I was a kid. I will say though, there is certainly a variety in shortcuts. I was a little bit worried that some tracks may just prioritize certain types over others. Also, there's one thing that's been bugging me a little bit. The fact that the Babylon Rogues are all birds, and yet Wave is the only one who can fly. I mean, I get they had to fit in the whole dichotomy thing. It's just a weird little oddity that I just couldn't help shaking thinking. The fact that Wave is the only bird that can fly in this game. And she doesn't even flap her wings, she just... Okay, she does flap a little bit. It's not as detailed as, say, for example, Tails. Just thinking about all the missions we're gonna have to do in this level fills me with existential dread. Thankfully, though, we should be coming to the end. And there we go, there's all 6 races. Probably not the fastest it's ever been, but it's been half an hour. I'd say we've done pretty well. Unlock Sky Road. Just can't help but think how much I missed Night Palace. That level was one of the biggest notable ones to me from Secret Rings.
Don't play games with me. I don't want your pity, nor do I need it.
Dude, chill.
Easy? If they don't want it, then let's take it. Treasure is treasure. Come on, let's get out of here.
Alright, time for Sonic to get beat up by Amy again.
Okay, let's go.
Now we get music to indicate that this may not be the most auspicious of ideas. Look at that, it's the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, it's just a room made of gold. Pretty nice, though. Look at that. Again with the pop-in, wow. Oh yeah, and Sonic's still getting beaten to death. And still she falls over. She really can't catch a break.
Finally, something interesting.
I'm pretty sure that line was from the E3 teaser for Sonic Wildfire. I remember that at the very least, where he's tossing up and down the Wiimotes. I'll try to showcase that at the end if I can find it. Let's say though, this is a pretty funky looking room. It seems to just go on forever. Oh, and Amy's here. You can't forget that Amy's here too, fellas. Imagine if this just turned out to be a Razor Chin.
Whoa, what's this?
Like he comes out and is like, "You, Sonic! I've come back to exact vengeance on you specifically." And Sonic's like, "What the heck? I haven't even met you yet." I mean, obviously, considering this series has no cohesion whatsoever, that obviously wouldn't happen, but it's fun to imagine regardless.
All right, bring it on.
Also, I will say his hair is pretty cool. Also, here we have one of the more interesting quote-unquote races in this game, and that it's technically a boss fight. In which you just have to run into his little lamp there 3 times and then he just falls over. Unfortunately, you can only do this whilst you're in first place. Even though you're here trying to... Could have sworn that I had that. Yeah, you can only get him in first place despite the fact that you're all trying to beat him together. This formula would also appear in Free Riders. I mean, I keep saying Free Riders when I mean to say Zero Gravity. Free Riders is just rolls off the tongue better, even if it is a worse game. I keep expecting Sonic to say "feeling good." There we go. I don't think we need to worry so much about rings here. And this is pretty interesting. No idea what the implications of this are. The fact that destroying the genie's illusion just spawns this weird digital black and white space. Tron Legacy before Tron Legacy. I actually got that one. Yeah, again, don't have to worry too much about rings, since there are no rings here, which, let's just say, makes a particular gear and a particular character a lot more awkward to use. Oh yeah. That's not exactly the thing I remember most about Unleashed, but I certainly do remember it. Feeling good! Feeling good! Feeling good! Also, Tails, can you get out of my way, please? I'm trying to win the day. This is Sonic Riders, after all, not Tails Riders. Well, I imagine there's a fair few of those in the fandom. Out of the way. Oh, and he actually has energy balls. Completely forgot about that. Come here, you. I'm not sure whether or not the grind rail is actually good to use as a shortcut. Also, yeah, this is getting a little bit awkward on my end. Just yeah, woo! Feeling good. All right, I have you now. Your tail's finished, Eraser. Even though you're not really a razor. Next try getting a better board. Alright. That's all of them. Oh no, you just ran into me a couple of times. I'm dead. Literally spawned a treasure chest like a Zelda boss. And he's literally... I completely forgot Eggman just has his guns again, and... honestly, I quite like the designs of these ones, though. Again, he just definitely seems to use those a fair bit. Like, he even has two of them, just like he was expecting just... gun down the entire procession.
The treasure of Babylon is finally mine! Huh? What is this thing? A piece of cloth?
I don't know, you could probably still make a mint out of that, considering it's technically an artifact.
Ah, this looks interesting. At long last, we've completed our ultimate invention. With this, our lives will be easier, without the need to work so hard to keep ourselves flying.
Oh, so they used to go about with wings and then just created, a rug.
The carpet's rich texture is a sight
The
to
rug
behold.
of Adam Sandler.
It feels as extraordinary. Something such as this could
Yeah, I
only be
definitely
created
do
in
wish we
Babylon.
kind of got this
Undoubtedly, this carpet will
sort of
be in high
animation
demand
back
from all around
in the
world.
series.
What's this? No way.
It would at the very least be better than the stuff we got in Frontiers. I know that was sort of last minute rushed thing, but considering that's the majority of cutscenes you technically see in the game.
What's this? Good eyes. Didn't think you'd spot it for a
Yeah, that's the majority of cutscenes you see in the game. That's this is certainly noticeable. Also,
Isn't just a piece of
I just noticed Sonic technically has a side mouth here. In fact, they all...
It's the same stuff we use for our
I just realized they all technically have side mouths, aside from Jed here, obviously, with his massive beak. It's weird, it's like halfway between mid-mouth and side-mouth.
Not sure, but maybe it's a prototype gear.
A magic carpet? I thought that those only existed in fiction.
So, does this mean that secret rings... Does this mean that the World of Arabian Nights 1001 book is technically history in this universe? Oh, you just caught us wrapping up the Babylon story.
So, you're leaving this place?
Despite the bit crunch, this still looks fantastic.
It says this was invented to allow Babylonians to travel all over the world to gather treasure. Some things never change, huh? But enough of this friendly banter, Sonic. You better make sure you're ready when we meet face to face once again.
This feels so distraction coming from with that voice.
Come on, Jed, it's time to split.
I wanted to say that.
Wave just had her spine broken.
We should split too, right?
Yeah, this was a waste of time. Didn't even get a Chaos Emerald out of it. Yeah, but Jet does sound funny, which I think really adds to the comedic effect the Babylonians have. Trailer shot. And they were never seen again.
You may be fastest for now, but I'll be back, Sonic the Hedgehog.
If only. I just realized, with this coloration with the blue eyes and the green coloration, this color scheme actually reminds me a fair lot of Scourge. Except he's better than Scourge. So yeah, that was the Babylon story mode. I will say, the writing for it was definitely better, a lot funnier, but overall I'd say the tracks were weaker. Enough of this friendly banter! That doesn't sound right coming from that voice. Yeah. Tracks, aside from maybe Dark Desert, feel at some points more like an afterthought. Like, we have to have ultimate versions of these tracks and just put together whatever you can. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't realize I could have just done all the story mode in one stream, which is sort of why the first one was so short. So, again, just like last time, going to do the World Grand Prix for the Babylons. What is that screenshot? Yeah, gonna do the Babylon Grand Prix after this, then showcase some of the new racers, some of the new gears, and next time we'll come back with the missions, starting with Storms. No idea how long those are gonna take. Production IG. Run, Bulby. Was that supposed to be all in lowercase? You can only assume so. There we go. Jason Griffith. Jason Griffith. There we go. Bella Hudson. It was Blaze. There we are, thinking they look so cool. Needless to say, when it comes to this track, I do prefer the one from Zero Gravity. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Ricardo. It's definitely unfortunate. The story mode for this was definitely a lot shorter than I was expecting. But this isn't the end, rest assured. He's gonna let this play out. Respect the names and whatnot. I'm gonna wonder what a lot of these people are up to nowadays. Created by Sonic Team. Back when they didn't know what they were doing. There we go. Cool screenshot, yay. Okay, let's see what we get. Bike type extreme gear. New missions, Digital Dimension, that'll be one to check out later. Babylon Guardian, Eggman, and the Magic Carpet and the E-Rider. To think this is one of the last games where Eggman was playable. Anyways, normal race, World Grand Prix, Babylon Cup. I kind of feel compelled to play as Eggman here, though the only option we have is the E-Rider, which, whilst it does look like it has decent performance, especially compared to some of the other starting gear, it comes at massive air consumption, so it's, from my experience, not really worth using. Let's see what's actually in the shop. Let's see if we can buy anything. I suspect not, given our limited amount of rings. Cover P, that might actually be good for Eggman as a sort of alternative. We've got Omnipotence, grants all skills, though I don't think it does. You get air consumption out of any of them. Destroyer gives you grants The power skill, heavy bike, heaviest gear in existence. Yeah, I think we'll just get the cover P for Eggman. From what I can oh, look at that limit. I'm guessing this is more sort of to cover for some of the weaknesses of the various types of characters. We'll try it out nonetheless. I don't suspect we'll get this right on the first try, but we'll do what we can. Also, love the fact that throughout this whole game, Eggman was voiced by Mike Pollock, and yet we still have Dean Bristow stock lines from Adventure 2. It's nice that they're at least they amended that at least slightly for Zero Gravity, though I still think they use the same lines. Let's hear it again, for good measure. Oh, look at that! Screenshot of Adventure. Yeah, that is literally the same. Yeah, Dean Bristow jump scare. Alright, off to a bad start. And for some reason Eggman just has a party cracker. Rest assured, I'm still doing better than I would be doing with the E-Rider. Also, yeah, since we're playing as a power-type character, Eggman is a power-type character and can just punch his way through cars. Look at this. Look at this. Watch him punch straight through a semi. Urgh! You'd love to see it. I can't help but wonder whether or not this is an inspiration for some of the stuff Eggman does in IDW with all his command grabs. Robotnik will teach you how to drive, and get a good chuckle while he's at it. And look at that, he's even got the boxing glove from the Egg Walker. I will admit, when it comes to this particular level, most of the memories I have of it is mostly going through it as Shadow on the heavy bike, sort of trying to emulate the opening to Shadow, the Shadow T Hedgehog. And considering the heavy bike is the most normal looking bike, and also has pretty decent performance despite it probably not being as good as the light board. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. To be fair, I don't think it's as bad as, say, Eggman's level 3 attack, which I don't think we're gonna get a good chance to see, considering how far ahead we are. I can only hope that this holds out for the rest of the races. Just punch straight through a semi. It's like, you think Knuckles is powerful. Eggman is literally as strong as Knuckles and faster than Sonic. If Sonic 2 was anything to go by. Of course, the main drawback of Eggman is he can only use bikes, as you probably could tell. But there are some pretty decent bikes in the game, at the very least. Needless to say, when it comes to Eggman, I think the heavy bike is probably the default that most people would use as soon as they get the chance to unlock it, because E-Rider really isn't that great. Just the fact that you burn through so much of your fuel really makes it borderline unusable. Egg smart! You gotta put Egg in front of everything, of course, because he's Eggman. Also, pretty sure this is the power type. There we go. Ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I am definitely surprised we haven't actually got any sort of proper Sonic fighting game since Sonic the Fighters. You think you could get just a whole bunch of creative character attack ideas out of that. With Eggman just being a grappler who just occasionally brings out a whole bunch of robots to also act as a zoner. Considering Street Fighter's history of putting boss characters and characters you can just actually play as, I wouldn't be surprised if Eggman was as overpowered as, say, M. Bison or Dr. Doom. Yeah, I suppose a Sonic Arena fighter probably wouldn't be off the cards, which does sort of remind me. Not sure if I mentioned this before, but I would really like to see a Sonic game worked on by CyberConnect 2, considering their portfolio and how good their animation is and how stylistic it is. I feel it would fit Sonic very, very well. Given their work on stuff like, I think it was the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. I know they worked on some Naruto games at the very least. Oh yeah. You know what I meant. I will admit I definitely don't remember these Grand Prix courses being so easy. I think that might have been because I saved these for once I'd unlocked a whole bunch of the stuff, like completing a whole bunch of the missions. Because right now it definitely seems to be surprisingly easy. Not that I'm complaining. It's kind of a shame we're not going to get as many rings as we probably could have. This might actually be a good chance to unlock the heavy gear once we get it. Well, there are definitely some other extreme gears out of the pack, which definitely of interest for me to showcase. Especially some of the more Sega-themed ones. Like, I'm pretty sure they made Opa into an extreme gear. That'll be interesting to see. Hurry up. Eggnack. What even is that? Well, yeah, I think there isn't really much for us to talk about with regards to... I want to say Frozen Factory. I mean, considering all the stuff that Mike Polk has done for Eggman since, it definitely seems weird that he wasn't just on to do voice lines for this or Zero Gravity. I'm pretty sure they did get him on to do voice lines for Free Riders. At least I think he was in Free Riders. Or am I just remembering right? I know Metal Sonic was in Free Riders. As just a generic E10,000 bot in disguise. Yeah, it was a 15th anniversary title. The best Sonic game to come out of 2006, this game was. When its only competition was 06 and Sonic Genesis. Truly, its competition was packed. I completely forgot we still have one more lap to do, please. Oh, Egg Perfect. That was also from Adventure 2, him falling to his death there. And his jumping sound. Oosha! I can't wait to play for Adventure 2. I'm just thinking I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of mods just from the Chow Garden alone. Like, how many streams could I potentially make out of the Chow Garden? I'll be set for like a year. So finally got the 100 ring capsule there when I didn't need it. Also definitely weird there's just a 100 air item box there as well. And I guess it makes sense given the 100 wing thing, but given how easy it usually is to requisite air, I don't think it's the most necessary. It's just usually when you get it, it's more just a nice bonus if anything. Alright, I think this might be where things take a worse turn. Because I don't remember how power types play on White Cave. I called it White Forest, it's White Cave. I do definitely like the look of it, actually, getting back to it. Just the infected spore motif. You know, it's not really the sort of thing you think about, but I can imagine just bringing this stuff in will make you die in a matter of days. Also, whatever this thing is, no idea what that is, but it's freaking me out. There we go, here's the power course. Going all the way across this little tree branch here, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I've noticed the power type characters tend to get more elaborate shortcuts like that, to make up for the fact that grind rails and dash rings just go over and under and around the level. Here it's actually like you get to see more of it. I will say though, whilst the music for me at the very least is memorable in the fact that I've listened to it so many times, I wouldn't say it's really the highlight of this game. I think I mentioned this earlier, I'm just imagining what this game would be like if it had more of a Jet Set Radio sort of vibe to it, like Rush did. Like if it got sort of a Rush style soundtrack, and just imagine the accolades this game would have gotten from the fans. Just the soundtrack alone would have just given this game a vibe that couldn't be beat. And while I suspect we'll never see this particular avenue of Sonic spin-off ever again, this first game at the very least I still look back on fondly. Coming up to the end already. Also, Knuckles is surprisingly keeping up with me, but I suppose it's more sort of due to rubber banding. I can only imagine Dark Desert is where things start to get a little bit tougher. Well, Eggman definitely showcasing himself to be quite the star performer. Alright, this is it. Still think that looks really cool. Everything about this sort of starting screen to Dark Desert really just screams cool to me in some weird way. Yeah, not gonna bother with tricks, just gonna... Look at that, already at level 2. I'm just going to steer through here, and oh hey, we actually get to see the power route of this particular track, which mostly just comes to, oh hey, there's Lego blocks in the way. Do something. Level 3 already. I will say at the very least, the tracks are definitely fitting of their, I mean the music tracks are fitting of their respective racing tracks. Even though I reckon it would be cool if they got like their own remixes for the Babylon versions. Like something that's a bit more fitting to this cataclysmic natural disaster that's befallen us. Oh no. I can't but wonder whether or not this is actually intended by the race organizers, just for the ground to open up and just reveal This hidden ancient civilization. Did I give you permission to get out in front of me? I don't think I did. I think we got another fellow rubber bander here. I'll soon set that one right. Just you watch. Somehow made that. I will say, pulling off drifts in this game is really satisfying. Just the sheer boost you get at the end. Somehow made that. Okay, I think we're good. Ooh. Yep, that's all she wrote. Just put down the control for that last bit. So yeah, a lot easier than I remember it being the last time I did this, though I did do the missions first, so that probably didn't help. And for that, new missions and Sega Illusion, the other one of the Sega tracks. We'll be doing that and Digital Dimension, and then we'll wrap up. First, though, I want to check the shop, see if there's anything interesting in here. Let's see, we got Berserker, so none of the Sega... I completely forgot about Hovercraft. Unfortunately, we don't have enough for it. Power Gear. Give me the heavy bike. We gotta do a heavy bike. We gotta do the Shadow meme. And 300. I don't think we can afford anything else aside from beginner. Thankfully, I do have a save file where I have all the gear, so we don't have to worry too much. So let's just showcase these last two tracks. Free Race, come over here. Looks as though we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks for 7 emeralds. Wow. You just select it and there's 2 different versions of the same track. We'll do Digital Dimension first. This one's a pretty odd one. For this, I mean, we gotta go Shadow, surely. And the heavy bike. Actually, given the context of this level, I think Jet with the magic carpet makes a bit more sense. No way I'm gonna lose! It's the same setup as the Babylon Guardian, which technically is the Babylonian version of this. This is the Team Sonic version of Babylon Guardian, essentially. Look at that. I will admit, it's been a while since I used the magic carpet. Also, this freaked me out as a kid. All these ghosts here and those hands at the bottom. Really sort of incentivizing you to make your jump lest the scary white goop hands drag you down into the abyss. Also, yeah, just ran out of air a little bit there. Here is the 100 rings. Unfortunately, you can only use this as a fly character, and thankfully, the carpet gives you flight powers. So I'm technically dual type at this point. I can do speed, or I can do flight. I chose neither. Also, it's super weird, just when you're jumping, the carpet just turns into like a flat JPEG, whereas while you're actually riding along, it actually has a little wavy effect, which is pretty nice. Uh-oh. Get out. Those are really difficult to avoid. And now I don't have any air or any rings to make up for it. I've doomed myself. At the very least, I can showcase some of the grind rails. Okay, I've done that. So where's that? Oh, that's Storm in front. Okay. No idea what any of the inclinations of this particular digital dimension setup is supposed to be, but it's cool nonetheless. Maybe I suppose this is one of those things in this series where you're just not supposed to ask questions. Also, yep, there goes Sonic, ready to ruin my lap. Please don't grab me, grabby hands. Please don't grab me, grabby hands. Somehow I made it, and I just realized that some particular straight is quite the air guzzler. This won't do at all. I can't let Sonic beat me at the last. I'll sneeze on you, that makes things better. Well, so from what I could tell, those whole stained glass segments there are randomized, as is the grind rails here. I think I might just make it out of this in one piece. There we go. And then I think we'll wrap up by doing Sega Illusion. How about that? Back to menu. Free Race, Sega Illusion. And what do you reckon? Should we go Shadow or should we go with Rouge? I'm normally inclined to go Shadow Heavy Bike, but I kind of want to showcase Rouge Heavy Bike. Suppose given my makeup it only makes sense. I'm sure we'll get another chance to do Heavy Bike Shadow at some point. So yeah. Alright, we'll do one more after this with Shadow. I gotta say, in terms of aesthetics, I might actually like this one more. I think that might just be have a distinct liking of Night Tracks. Also, I'm fairly certain, correct me if I'm wrong, if you end up riding on Turbulence, you can potentially fly through all those orange dotted rings like you can in the Knight's games. I was here on Space Channel 5. Limited by my controller. From what I recall on keyboard, you can just mash those to get those automated sections where you're just there spinning the control stick around a lot faster. Also, I completely messed that up. I was trying to get the 100 rings there. No matter though. I don't think we're going to get much of a chance to actually showcase tricks in this particular level, as there isn't really much of an opportunity. Considering a lot of them get stopped short. I only wanted to showcase Rouge because, like with the skates, you get different names for all unique tricks. So I kind of wanted to showcase that off, though I don't think this was the right map to do it on. You can also just do that to get through there. I will admit I haven't really played Choo Choo Rocket, or I really know all that much about it. I know Opa Opa's Fantasy Zone. Finally remembered that after the Superstar streams. It was bizarre though, they're just pulling out a Phantasy Star reference, which... I know they already did Mean Bean Machine with Mania and Chemical Plant, but Phantasy Star. It just seems so out of left field to me, thinking about it. Granted, it was one of the better parts of that game, but... regardless. Something tells me we're not gonna get it here. There we go, sexy eye. Yeah, he said the sex word. Also, what is up with these textures? It looks like something out of the Nintendo DS. Was that over and done with? Yeah, we'll wrap up with the particular race I prospected out earlier. Almost so proposed. Let's check out the heaviest gear of existence. With the most dense life form in existence. Let's do it. Shadow Heavy Bike to round things out. And then, that reminds me, still have to do that thing I said I'd do.
The countdown has begun.
Let's see how Shadow looks with the heavy bike. Look at that, the bike drives itself. Back when people were led to believe Shadow had telekinesis when he actually didn't. Like, can you imagine if they actually just went full Mewtwo and gave Shadow telekinesis and then just Silver never happens? I know it's, it would probably be unheard of and unimaginable, but... given what's happened with Silver, I can definitely see them doing that to at least some extent. Also, I noticed with the heavy bike that you don't get caught up in turbulence, so... for better or worse. Breakaway. I think this might actually be one of my favorite gears, at least aesthetically, especially with like the twin exhaust. It just gives off this raw energy that can't be beat. Look at this. No idea what Shadow's doing there, but it looks awesome. Okay, I messed that up. Also, was fairly certain that the heavy bike made it so you didn't lose your speed over rough ground as much, but maybe I was mistaken. Also, obviously it doesn't retain its speed as well as the light board, for example, but regardless, it's still one of the most well-liked gears from what I recall. I desperately need that grind rail right now. There we go. And that should be that for the time being, if I can actually make it up there. There we go. Shadow against the moon, that makes it... that's fitting. It's like Shadow just has its own set of shoes for this, which aren't even his air... I say air shoes, they're rocket shoes. Alright. Now for that one thing I wanted to showcase. If I can just quickly bring it up. This may take a little bit, so please excuse me. Alright, I'm just going to close this out for the time being, since we're effectively done with Riders for the time being. Just wanted to quickly showcase. Yes, I want to come out of that. Sonic Wildfire. What would eventually come up to be Sonic and the Secret Rings. I'm bringing this up because it does feature a voice track from Riders. Figure this would be a good enough time to showcase it.
Sega. A new world.
Back when Sonic was willing to do anything. This... I will say though, this render does look great. The shine on his shoes. Here we go.
Finally, something interesting. Ha! All right, let's do it.
Oh yeah. I reckon that particular clip got a lot of mileage out of fans. And honestly, it is sort of giving me the temptation to play Secret Rings at some point. That probably won't be for a while, but yeah. Next week we'll be back with Storm's missions at the very least, and if we have time, moving on to Wave's missions. But until then, I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
What?